Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. This is your host Ram welcoming you to the cricket show with a difference. Probably just making it, I know it doesn't really look professional, but nevertheless I am still speaking to you dear fans, friends and subscribers. And as far as this cricket show is concerned, I'm going to be talking about the two matches that are happening. So as and when I'm finding time, I'm trying to come to you, dear fans, friends and subscribers. And as far as today's cricket show is concerned, what you're going to look at is India actually wrapping up the match against South Africa in a fantastic manner. As I said, this was a pitch which was a very dicey pitch. It's not easy. Even if South Africa have to score 200, that's going to be something which is going to take some real doing. And the match between India and South Africa, the third day's play, and the match is already over. So the first test match between India and South Africa was over in just 3 days. In fact, within 3 days, with India the victors by 108 runs. As I always said, it was always going to be difficult for South Africa to get out of jail, even though India were all out for 200 runs, setting South Africa 217 runs for victory. The spinners ruled the roost once again. The first innings it was Ravichandran Ashwin, but this time it was Ravindra Jadeja who was the man of the match, and what a splendid bowling spell from him. He picked up a fifer. He picked 5 wickets today on his comeback, and he also claimed the man of the match award for his very good contributions of 30 odd runs. So that is something that I'm going to look at. And other than that, the other things that I'm going to look at on this cricket show is Australia absolutely pummeling the New Zealand bowlers there on day 3 here at the Woolloongabba. This is the Gabba cricket ground. Stumps on day 3. Australia first bowling out the Kiwis for 317, which was led by a classy knock from one of the greatest batsmen. Definitely going to bound to be one of the greats in the future, Kane Williamson of New Zealand. And then Australia taking a 239 rain was a bit strange coming for me, with Stephen Smith not actually enforcing the declaration. But well, that didn't really matter, one could say, because Australian openers really, I would say, they really squashed the New Zealand bowlers to pulp here, with Joe Burns getting on to his maiden century in Test cricket, and what an aggressive century that was. Normally one sees Joe Burns is more of a compact, a very sedate player, but today he totally turned his game over with some tremendous aggression. Australia were 239 runs on, and Joe Burns with a maiden century, 129 of 123 deliveries with 13 fours and 4 sixes, and David Warner at the other end. In fact, he outscored David Warner, who scored one more century, and what a century for David Warner, joining the greats like Sunil Gavaskar of India and Ricky Ponting of Australia to become the 3rd player in the annals of Test history to have done this feat twice, where he has scored centuries in both the innings of a Test match. These are the 3 players in the annals of Test history who have done it twice as far as scoring centuries in Test cricket is concerned. These are the triple instances of the players, 3 players actually scoring centuries in 2 innings of the same Test. So that is something that David Warner will be proud about, as he's joined Sunil Gavaskar and Ricky Ponting of Australia. This partnership really, as I said, squashed the New Zealand bowlers. They were going at a clip of 6 runs per over to raise a partnership of 237 runs for the first wicket. And finally, New Zealand struck before the close of play when they captured 4 wickets to leave Australia 264 for 4, and Australia absolutely in the driver's seat, dictating terms to New Zealand. They were leading by 503 runs with 2 days to go, 6 wickets remaining, and I'm sure probably Australia would like to bat one more out tomorrow, raise the 600 runs on the board, and then probably Stephen Smith would declare setting the Kiwis a target of 600. So definitely this match is well set and definitely heading for a result now. Now, as far as let me first talk about the India versus South Africa game, and let's see what really happened. So India resuming at the overnight score with a lead, they were 142 runs in the lead, as you would all remember, and with the 142 runs they were in the lead. It all started with Virat Kohli and Jadeja Pujara at the crease. Now Virat Kohli and Jadeja Pujara slowly tried to get into the groove, in the sense they're playing well, before Stein Van Zyl with his medium pace, military medium pace, struck by getting Virat Kohli caught by Dean Willis. A good catch taken by Dean Willis. He was gone for 29 with 4 boundaries, which made the score 161 for 3. Pujara made the highest score of 77, becoming a victim of Imran Tahir when he was caught by Amla with 6 fours and 1 6. After that, Ajinkya Rahane was out in very, I would say it was a brilliant catch taken by Davis Bavuma at the forward short leg region of the bowling of Simon Harmer. Simon Harmer getting his first wicket in the second innings, as he picked up the wicket of Ajinkya Rahane for 2. Ridhiman Sawa briefly resisted, but the spinners totally got into this Indian bowling there, Indian batting there, with Ravindra Jadeja, who was LBW bowled Harmer for 8 with 1 4. Amit Mishra could contribute only 2, was caught by Du Plessis with the bowling of Harmer for 2. Ashwin left for 3 to the bowling of Imran Tahir, and it was Umesh Shah who was bowled by Harmer, but Ridhiman Saha briefly resisted to score 20 runs with 3 boundaries, becoming a victim of Imran Tahir when he was caught by Virat. Some very good bowling by Imran Tahir, the bowlers turning, so the spinners definitely ruling the roost in this particular test match. And 200 runs, India were all out for 200. So when they were all out for 200, with the pitch turning absolutely square, so they were set a target. South Africans were set a target of 217 runs to win. Now it was always going to be difficult, as I said in my cricket show, the previous cricket show. As far as the bowling was concerned, Varnam Fernando, 12 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 23. Simon Harmer returning figures of 24 overs, 5 maidens, 61 runs and 4 wickets. Dean Elgar, who took 4 wickets in the first innings, was wicketless. 7 overs, 1 maiden, none for 34. Imran Tahir, I thought, bowled brilliantly. 16.3 overs, 1 maiden, 48 runs and 4 wickets. And Rabara, 12 overs, 7 maidens, 19 runs and no wicket on the money. Stein Van Zyl, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 5. Now, one knows that the pitch was turning, but it's also very essential that even when the pitch is turning, the bowlers have to bowl the right length, they have to bowl the right deliveries, and I thought the spinners really did a good job to actually get the Indians wound up for 200. So 217 runs for victory, 218 runs was the target which was set for victory. And now I'm going to tell you the story as to what happened here at the Mohali in Chandigarh. It all started with Dean Elgar, and it was a real surprise. I mean, I would say surprise of surprises that the South African captain Hashim Amla decided to actually send in one non-Philander's opener. One really did not get that, because you definitely needed someone who had some real skills against the spin bowling, and for me it could have been either Du Plessis or A.B. de Villiers, but I was a bit surprised to see one non-Philander walk in to open the innings with Dean Elgar. And well, in the second over, one non-Philander was a goner. The experiment of sending one non-Philander totally failed, as Jadeja, who was bowling, in fact Virat Kohli didn't even bother to give a new ball to the pace bowlers, which was a very good move. I immediately started off with Ravindra Jadeja at one end and Ravichandran Ashwin at the other end, and Vernon Fernando was the first to go. LBW bowled Jadeja for 1, South Africa 8 for 1. And after that, Dean Elgar was at the other end, blocking very well, just showing the stubborn resistance that he did, as Du Plessis joined in. And Ravichandran Ashwin now into the picture, and he was the one who got the wicket of Du Plessis, and Du Plessis actually edged the delivery from Ravichandran Ashwin, just spinning away from him, and Rahane took the catch. So Du Plessis gone for 1, South Africa 9 for 2. Hashim Amla walked in, and Hashim Amla was scoreless for 6 deliveries, and then Ravindra Jadeja totally bamboozling Amla here, because the ball probably Amla first was trying to shoulder arms. In fact, he probably thought the ball is going to spin away from him, but Jadeja was smart for that. He had slipped in the armor, and Hashim Amla's stumps were shattered. He shouldered arms, and before he could realize, Hashim Amla had lost his stumps. Hashim Amla gone for a duck. South Africa were in serious trouble at 10 for 3. A.B. de Villiers walked in, and one knows when A.B. de Villiers' presence itself it really worries the opposition. Once he walked in, at the other end we saw Dean Elgar was really blocking well, and then we saw A.B. de Villiers reel off 2 boundaries by using his feet to the spinners. Amit Mishra was inducted, and Amit Mishra also dismissed him in the first innings, as you would remember. And once again, Amit Mishra, what a delivery! A.B. de Villiers was trying to shaping to actually cut the ball, but I thought Mishra's delivery was a slider, which was absolutely quick. It beat A.B. de Villiers as far as the race was concerned, and the ball won the race, and the ball went on to hit the off stump. A.B. de Villiers gone, bowled by Mishra for 16. And South Africa were tottering there at 32 for 4. The spinners were all over the South Africans. After that, we saw Steyn van Zyl into the middle. Steyn van Zyl joined Dean Elgar, and Dean Elgar, well, as I said in the first innings, he really showed what a good blocker of the ball he is, and that's what precisely he was doing. He was keeping the spinners at bay. Steyn van Zyl also started giving good company to Dean Elgar, playing in a similar manner, but also Steyn van Zyl was not making any loose opportunity go begging, but then Dean Elgar was doing a good thing, and suddenly he saw there was a lot of balls were bowled, and Virat Kohli decided that he's going to try something different, and to try something different he brought his ace pace bowler Varun Arun to actually bowl, and that was the first time that one saw pace being actually introduced into the mix, as Virat Kohli brought in Varun Arun. Varun Arun, well, the good thing for Varun Arun, after bowling at very good pace, finally decided to bowl a slow bouncer to Dean Elgar, and Dean Elgar was absolutely caught by surprise. The ball actually, he actually got the splice of the bat, absolutely surprised that the ball actually lifted on him, and Dean Elgar was out as the ball actually hit the splice of the bat, flew high up in the air. Virat Kohli held the dolly of the catch, and Dean Elgar was gone for 16 with 1 boundary, which made the score 45 for 5, with half the South African team into the pavilion with only 45 runs for the board. So now it was going to be a very stiff task for South Africa, we all know, but Steyn van Zyl was doing a good job. Dean Villiers came in, and Dean Villiers was also, it's a very good delivery from Jadeja. Jadeja was turning the ball, in a sense he was slipping in some very good straight deliveries. As you know, the left arm spinner always has the armour as a pretty good weapon, and that's what precisely happened. Dean Villiers didn't know anything about it. He was gone, clean ball by Jadeja for 7, which made it 60 for 6. Harmer came in, and Steyn van Zyl was still there. He was really doing well by playing the spinners well, trying to show some good technique, but what was wanted was some support from the lower order, which was never forthcoming. It was the next turn was Jadeja, then picked up the wicket. It was a good catch. Simon Harmer was the next to go, caught by Rahane in the slips of Jadeja for 11. Dale Steyn tried to hoist in into the fence, and fell a victim as Vijay took a catch at the deep. He was gone for 2. Imran Tahir hit a 4, but before that Steyn van Zyl decided that he's not. There's no point in just waiting at the crease. But what a delivery from Ravichandran Ashwin! That was an unplayable delivery where Steyn van Zyl had to play at it. The ball pitched on the line of the stumps and turned away from Steyn van Zyl. Steyn van Zyl was on his forward defensive prod, and it had taken a thick edge, and Rahane at slips took the catch. Rabada was not out on 1. Tahir was the last to go. LBW ball Jadeja for 4. South Africa innings were totally over. They were all out for 109. Thus India winning against winning the first test against South Africa by 108 runs, and taking a 1-0 lead in the 4-match series. So that's, and Ravindra Jadeja for his comeback, coming in his comeback through the dint of his performances in the Ranji Trophy, getting an opportunity, taking it with both hands, and winning the match for his team, and he was rightly named the man of the match. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Ravichandran Ashwin, 14 overs, 4 maidens, 39 runs and 3 wickets. Look at Ravindra Jadeja, the left-arm spinner, and you know Ravindra Jadeja is always a dangerous customer when it comes on turning tracks, because he is one who can really take advantage of a turning pitch, and that's precisely that happened today at Mohali in Chandigarh. 11.5 overs, 4 maidens, 21 runs and 5 wickets. Amit Mishra, 8 overs, 1 for 26, took the prize wicket of A.B. de Villiers for the second time in succession in this test match. 103 overs, 1 for 3, and Umesh Yadav, 3 overs, no maiden, none for 7. So India leading the 4-match series 1-0. The focus will shift on to the second test match in Bangalore, which would be starting probably in next week, after Diwali, one could say. And the next thing that I would like to talk about now is the match between Australia and New Zealand. Actually, the Australians, as you know, they made the Australians were the ones who made 556 for 4 declared the previous day. New Zealand had lost 5 wickets, as you would remember, and I also gave you some live update in my previous cricket show today, dear friends and subscribers, and I was telling you that the presence of Kane Williamson was very important. After playing in such a classy manner, Kane Williamson getting 24 boundaries in a knock of 140 was simply fantastic. Very classy little knock where he was absolutely untroubled by the Aussie pace bowlers, and then Bracewell, and after lunch it was quick work by the Australian pacemen, especially when as I said, the new ball was due, and Australia definitely saw to it that New Zealand wouldn't be able to really weather the new ball. That's what they precisely did. With Bracewell bowled by Marsh for 16, Tim Savage bowled by Stark for 14, 10 bowled not out or not, and Williamson himself was the last one to be dismissed when he was caught by Neville of the bowling of Mitchell Stark for 140. What a classy little innings from Kane Williamson. 24 boundaries in that knock of his, and well, if you look at it, it's 96 runs coming only in boundaries, and such classy boundaries that you could go absolutely, you could go all the way to see this wonderful guy bat. He's such a good, such a classic batsman. It looks like poetry in motion. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned for the Australians, Mitchell Stark, 17.2 overs, 4 maidens, 4 for 57, was the most successful bowler. AB supported by Mitchell Johnson, 21 overs, 3 maidens, 105 runs and 3 wickets. And the chipping in was done by George Hazelwood, who took 1 wicket for 70, 1 for 40 for Aaron Lyon, 1 for 32 for Mitchell Marsh, 109 maiden, none for 3. Now, and in fact, one thought that probably we are going to see New Zealand bat again, and because they couldn't actually go on past the follow-on mark, they fell short by 200. The 239 runs was the deficit, and one was looking forward to Stephen Smith telling the Kiwis to bat again. But surprise, really, it was for me it sounded strange. But let me tell you, probably Stephen Smith, the Aussie captain, had something different in mind, and I thought that was a good decision, as the openers were absolutely unleashed, I would say, on the Kiwi bowlers. The Kiwi bowlers were really hit hard, because the only thing that Australia realized, they were 239 runs in front. There was no point in pottering around, and that's what happened really. The Joe Burns really upping his game a notch. In fact, changing his game over. Normally Joe Burns is a good stroke maker, but normally takes his time at the crease, and suddenly we found that David Warner, we know, aggression is something which comes natural to him, and Joe Burns was a little sort of a surprise, as Joe Burns turned his game over, probably under instructions, and both of them started really going really hard at the TV paceman Trent Bolt. Yes, New Zealand did not have the services of Tim Southee, unfortunately, Trent Boult couldn't make an impression, and Joe Burns and David Warner were really making merry, one could say. They had no problems whatsoever when Trent Boult was bowling or Bristol was bowling. Neesham was treated with disdain. Mark Craig was also really giving some real pasting about both, as Australia, with David Burns Burns and David Warner were going at a clip of 6 runs per over, and Joe Burns was really dealing in boundaries. At the other end, David Warner was also getting runs pretty quickly, and finally this partnership had gone to massive proportions, 239 runs on, and look at what the Australian openers did. They went on to an opening partnership of 237 runs before being separated. Joe Burns, as I said, really turning up his game a notch, showing some real aggression as far as batting was concerned, and that was a real treat to watch Joe Burns. I mean, Joe Burns really scorching the Gabba cricket ground, one could say, with his strokes today. He also hit some 4 sixes, and in fact, what a way to actually reach his maiden Test century, as he hoisted Mark Craig down the ground from 94. He went on to his century by hoiking Mark Craig, the off spinner, into the stands. So Joe Burns making his maiden century. At the other end, David Warner went on to a beautiful record, which I said he joined Sunil Gavaskar and Ricky Ponting to become the 3rd player in the annals of Test history to have scored 2 centuries in both the innings of a Test match, which was the 3rd time, and this has been only done by Sunil Gavaskar of India and Ricky Ponting of Australia. So David Warner got a century, 237 runs were raised by this pair, and Joe Burns stayed a bow, 129, 13 fours and 4 sixes, and finally, and also at one point of time, we saw that Joe Burns in the race with David Warner was outscoring David Warner. And finally, this pair was separated at 237 runs. Mark Craig was the one who did it when he picked up the wicket of Joe Burns for 129, 13 fours and 4 sixes. David Warner contributing 116. After that, we saw, it was, in fact, David Warner was the first to go when David Warner was caught by Boult of the bowling of Mark Craig to Rana Murphy for 116 of 113 deliveries, 8 fours and 2 sixes. Usman Khwaja came in, and suddenly Mark Craig, after getting that wicket, was totally perked up as Mitchell Marsh, the next to go was Stephen Smith, the Australian captain. Trent Boult was the one who picked up his wicket by getting him caught by Williamson for 1. Mitchell Marsh, towards the close of play, was out for 2, caught McLemore Craig. Usman Khwaja was watching it at the other end. He remained not out on 9 at close of play on the 3rd day. Adam Woods was not out on 1. And Australia, at close of play on the 3rd day of this Test match, the first Test match here at the Gabba cricket ground, were 264 for 4, and they were leading by 503 runs going on to the 4th day of this Test match. Trent Boult, he was 1 for 61, was really taken apart. Bracewell 11 was 1 made and none for 63, didn't have any answer to Joe Burns and David Warner's onslaught. Neesham was pasted all over the park, 9 overs, none for 61. Mark Craig was the one who redeemed himself by, even though he was also really given a good bashing by Joe Burns in particular and David Warner. His 14 overs cost him 78 runs, but he really struck it big by getting 3 wickets. So that is a match situation as far as day 3 is concerned in the Trans-Tasman Trophy between New Zealand and Australia in the first Test match played at the Gabba cricket ground. And I think if looking at it, one probably feels that Stephen Smith might still like to bat for some more time, probably 1 hour's time, and probably go full tilt at it, go with some real aggression in the morning, probably get 100 runs, or probably bat till lunchtime, and then unleash the Aussie paceman with the new cherry onto the Kiwis and see what he can do. And I think it's something. It's going to really take some great, I would say, dedication, application, whatever you call it, if at all New Zealand need to really save this test match. Well, so I think it's all in favor of Australia, and one is really looking forward to the 4 days play, and I'm sure we are going to see some real aggression coming in tomorrow morning from the bat of Usman Khawaja and Aaron Moses, so New Zealand have an Herculean task here as far as this. So just before I go, I just would like to give you some updates here while I'm talking to you. The match has just ended between Bangladesh and Zimbabwe. I can just tell you that Bangladesh is playing their first one-day international in Zimbabwe here at Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. Bangladesh have won the match by 45 runs, and they have won by a big margin here. 145 runs is the margin. Just giving you a match summary here. Bangladesh making 273.9 of their 50 overs. Zimbabwe were bowled out for 138. Just talking about briefly as to what happened. Mushfiqur Rahim, the Bangladesh captain, making a century, 107 of 109 balls with 9 fours and 1 6. 40 from Tamim Iqbal of 68 balls with 3 fours and 2 sixes. Sabir Rahman crashing 57 runs of 58 balls with 4 fours and 2 sixes were the principal scorers. Muzarabani got 2 wickets of Sikal Raja, 1 wicket apiece to Panyanga and Jongwe. Zimbabwe had no answer. They were all out for 128. Definitely, there were only 3 people who got into double figures. Jongwe made 39 of 51 deliveries with 4 fours and 1 6. And then we saw Chidunga, the captain, cracking 41 of 51 balls with 2 sixes. 15 from Creamer of 21 balls with 2 fours. 128 all out. And as far as the wickets were concerned, Shakib Al Hassan, with all his experience, taking a 5-wicket bat, 5 overs no made, 10 overs no maiden, 47 runs on 5 wickets, 1 wicket to Amin Hussain, Mustafa Murtaza getting 2, and Nasir Hussain getting 1. So match over. Zimbabwe have lost this test. Zimbabwe have lost the first one-day international against Bangladesh. This is a 3-match series, and Bangladesh are leading right now. Now, there is also one last match that I will cover. That is a match which is right now happening, but really rain has really proved a spoiled sport. As I am talking to you, the third one-day international, which is a mere formality, as you know, as Sri Lanka have already wrapped up this one-day series. I could say that as I am talking to you, I do see that this match, they say that could be a 36 overs side. Currently, when I am speaking to you, West Indies have been they have been finding life very difficult here at the Palakkad International Cricket Stadium, as they were really on the brink of disaster at 18 for 4. They recovered to 105 for 6. Marlon Samuels has got himself into some type of form here. He's not out on 50 of 53 balls with 7 fours. Jason Holder is not out on 15 of 17 balls. Other than that, it's all Johnson Charles made 4, and Andrew Fletcher 6, Blackwood 2, Bravo 4, Ramadan 4, Carter 6, 105 for 6, and it's so 105 for 6 in 23.3 overs. So that is the match situation as far as West Indies are concerned. So 105 for 6 is the current score. The match is delayed by rain, and well, dear fans and subscribers, I think it's about time for me to wind up this cricket show. As I said, I know it's not professional. You're not seeing any professionalism here. I understand. I do apologize. Probably the light is not, so I have to really make some arrangements here to get some light. But well, as far as you hear my voice, dear fans and subscribers, I think my face is not so important as far as my voice is concerned. So you all, I know that you all understand that, and well, go on and continue to enjoy my cricket show. And I'm always there to provide wholesome entertainment on this Cricket Happening show, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow probably. I wouldn't be able to do any promises, as you all know I'm on vacation right now, but I'm trying to take time out to speak to you all, dear friends and subscribers. So I'll see you all later. Till such time that happens, this is your host Ram saying good night. Thank you.